Hello there. I'm Elisha LightAngel, a licensed massage therapist, and I bring you videos all about wellness, the human body, massage therapy, and even more. So if you like that kind of stuff, stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. Today, I'm broaching a really controversial subject, all about tipping. To tip or not to tip? That is the question. Yes. A lot of people might have it, especially if it's your first time going to get a massage and you're not really sure what the standard is, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And so I'm going to give you my own personal opinions on this subject matter. And I will caveat that I have worked in the food industry for 5 years of my career, and I have been doing massage therapy for 12 to 13 years at this point. Both of those being something that's in the service industry where tipping is a standard. I live in the United States. It is very customary in the United States to leave tips when you see and have any kind of a service. So at a restaurant, which I'm very passionate about tipping your servers and tipping them well because that's the only money that they ever see. They only make $2 an hour. Now, the rest of the service industry, they're going to be a little bit different. Your tip is actually a tip on top of whatever they're making, and hopefully what they're making is a decent amount, but not always guaranteed depending on where they're working. So, should you tip? I say F yes. F yes, you should tip. It is customary and it is standard here in the United States. Don't know about other countries, but here. And it will help you to stand out in your therapist's mind. It shows your appreciation for the service that you just received. And it doesn't have to be like a bunch of money. It can be what you can afford. And if you can't afford to leave a tip, maybe you're stretched with your budget on getting the service, but you have something else that you can gift to the therapist, that also can be received as a tip. So you can get creative, and it's not something that happens very often. So it's, in my mind, it's always kind of a little bit fun when someone has something different to give me as a tip as opposed to the standard tip. However, the cash helps to pay my bills, and I still got to live and I still got to eat. So there's that. So how much is like an appropriate amount to tip? If it's your first time, well, you may not know even to tip or not to tip, but standardly, as with anything in any service industry at this current point in time, is 20%. So whatever your service fee is, 20% of that, which means that the amount that you're tipping can vary. Some people do have specific amounts. Like there's some people who it's $20 every time they go, regardless of the length or the cost of the service. But I really just think that if you follow the 20% rule, if you want to give more because you have the funds and you are generous, I guarantee that your therapist will highly appreciate that and love you for it. They will. Should you tip in cash or with a credit card? You know what? Cash is king every time. Cash is king. Cash is an immediate funds to where credit card's going to come on a paycheck later. Cash could be helping somebody to eat their lunch or something that day, or maybe add to something that they needed. And typically it's not accounted for. So if you are one of those people that's like F taxes and you want to leave cash, it's really up to you. Personally, I don't care. If you leave me a tip, I'm happy you left me a tip, and it doesn't matter which form it comes in. If you do leave a credit card tip, obviously it goes on a paycheck, so Uncle Sam's going to take his cut, and there is a credit card fee that will be taken out of that, which is usually closer to about 3% of whatever the amount is. But you know what? It's better to have that taken out than receive nothing at all. So that's kind of how I see it, but whatever works for you. Most people aren't carrying cash these days, and it's really convenient to whip out a card and just put a little extra on there. So whatever works for you. No, there are no rules. You get to do how you want to do and establish your relationship with your massage therapist in the way that you want to. Now, if you're tipping cash, where should you leave it? That's a really good question that you might have, especially if you're new or kind of standing around after you've gotten dressed and you're ready to leave. Like, where exactly should I put this money? I want to make sure they get it. So you have options. There's always options. You could leave it on the table. You could leave it on a counter. You could hand it to the therapist themselves, or you could hand it to the front desk to give to the therapist. Any of those ways are going to get that cash into your therapist's hands. It is really just up to you how you like to do it. The one thing you do not want to do is to try and make it like a game or to hide that so that they have to go searching for it. If it's like tucked inside the sheets or something, there's a good chance that they're going to miss seeing that when they're changing the sheets on the table, and then it's just going to get tossed into the washer unbeknownst to the therapist, and they're going to think that you didn't tip them even though you did. So just make sure it's visible, and however you want to make sure that they get it, it's up to you. So there's different industries that you will go to receive a massage. Of course, the first and probably most well-known is going to be any kind of an establishment that provides massage therapy. And all those therapists are receiving a cut of whatever you're paying for the service, but they're definitely not receiving anywhere near the full amount. It is customary at all establishments to tip your massage therapists, and it's highly appreciated by them. Trust me. And all of the places pay a little bit differently. And you don't know, like, if they're on the low end or the high end or however that works out for them. You just know that they're getting paid a portion, and you're getting, hopefully, I'm hoping that you're getting a really good service. But that's what you know. Then there's people that work for themselves, and they might have a place you go to, or they might go to you, either which way. Oftentimes people will try to set their massage prices a little bit higher when they're working for themselves, because more people might tip a little bit less. And know that your therapist loves to get your tips. It's never expected, but when you tip, you will stand out in their mind, and it can help you to have some preferential treatment further on down the road. So if that's something that you're looking for, then that is an option. The only place that I'm aware of, and I haven't worked in this setting ever, but the ones that don't expect tips as much and it's not as customary, from my understanding, I could be wrong, but from things that I've read from other therapists online, is people who generally work in a medical type of setting. This could be someplace you're getting physical therapy or at a chiropractor's office, one of the two. And usually they are having a different way of paying their therapist, and they may or may not even be able to accept tips. So if they can, they'll take it, and then if they aren't able to, they will let you know that they don't accept tips. But that's the only place that I'm aware of that may not be tipped. But every other massage that you're going to receive, it is definitely very customary to leave that 20% tip. And I say you should, but you're not required. So that's what I have to say about tipping. And as always, it's up to you what you do, because this is your funds and you're the one that's going to receive the service and you're the one that's paying. So, and you're also establishing your relationship with your massage therapist, and however that's going to transpire for the both of you. So if you really appreciated what they did and that person made you feel really good, they helped get you out of some pain, maybe helped relax your mind a bit, it is a really nice thing to give them a little extra as a thank you. Anyway, hope that answers your questions on tipping, and I'm interested to hear your comments, even if you don't agree with me or you have something different to say. And if you have any questions for further videos, drop those in the comments too. I would love to hear them and love to answer and speak to them in the future. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you like it, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. I hope you have a fabulous and wonderful day. Thank you.
When you close your eyes,